connect with our community more. Connect with our community more, and we really knew a lot of our neighbours, and we felt that our neighbours would also appreciate some kind of local gardening project, especially aimed at children. And yeah, this is like the picture on the left is from, we had like a celebration session once where a lot of the kids who'd been continuously coming, I was able to give them certificates and sort of like little gift vouchers and things. And for that, I think, first of all, okay, sorry, right. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of an idea of what did I undertake and why I undertook it. I think the main reason for me was just learning more about gardening myself, and learning more about my neighbours really gave me an idea that this is something that is really needed, and definitely would not have been able to do this without the help and support from, first of all, I got a £500 grant from Royal Botanic Garden Kew's funding that they have every summer for young people between the ages of 14 to 25. I was 16 when this started, so I was eligible to apply for that, and I really encourage anyone who can to apply for I think they're called, yeah, Royal Botanic Garden Kew's summer funding, and they give you quite a lot of money for raising the profile of British wildflowers and British gardening. And yeah, so that was really helpful. And something else that was really helpful was the support of my parents. I wouldn't have been able to do it without the fact that the park is so close to my house, where we had these gardening sessions every week in the summer. My parents would help me bring like a table to the park, and then at that table we'd like that's where people would put in the pots, put soil in the pots, and that's where all the painting and sort of like leaf art that we also did happened. Yeah, and so there were a lot of challenges. For example, I think that a lot of people, when they want to start community projects, and they're worried about like as I was, let's say, I was worried about people who might not come and things. And how I overcame that was actually to just join other groups that were already in the area. So we had it was like in August before things, it was in one of the months before Newtown Nature Club took place. There was a litter pick, a group litter pick in my area, in that garden, and from there I knew that people had they had a desire to sort of like take part in taking care of nature and taking care of the environment, because it was a litter pick. And I made so many friends from that area who then I asked, would they be interested in in doing a gardening club and helping me run a gardening project for kids. And they were so helpful, and they were like, yeah. And some of them couldn't make it on the actual days, but I think the more people you know in your area, the more sort of like networking you can do, the better, really. And another challenge was sometimes it rained, and the weather's great, sometimes things like that. And how I overcame that was again, a friend that I'd made through the litter club, the litter picking. She knew she had a key to get into the sort of a community space for older people in the area, but she had the keys to get into it, so we all just managed to just set up in there. And also another sort of unique challenge is that I was worried that it would just start off with some people, and then either they drop out or it would just stay with the same people. But how I overcame that is because it was in a park, I kind of forced my little brother a little bit, because he's younger than me, and I got him to get him and his friends to be as part of the group. And then when other kids saw him and his friends in the park taking part in the gardening project and doing gardening with some pots, they also wanted to join, and it sort of became this really organic sense of community building. yeah, and so since then, every summer we try to sort of keep in touch and keep doing sort of gardening in our area. And I think the next thing that we're really there's been some talk of planting trees. But you know, with the council, I think it's kind of hard, but that is something that's being talked about. And the last time there was a COP 26, 27, we ran a little drawing challenge for kids, and there was some really nice art that came out of that. So yeah. Oh, sorry, do you mind repeating the name of the funding department that you got the £500 from? The department was called Royal Botanic Gardens Kew. That's who they are, and their funding it's I think it's called Summer Youth or Grow Wild, maybe.
We've got the link on the case study.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Sophie's on it.
No, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that, and all the successes, but also the challenges as well. It's really important to hear like a good rounded story as to how that's happened. So thank you so much for sharing that. That's really inspiring. And yeah, as mentioned, we've got all the relevant links, and any extra questions that come in, we can add that. So that's fine. Brilliant.